Hey guys, my name is Zack.
I'm Dean.
I'm Manny.
I'm Raynor.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. This is the weekly podcast where we talk about the things that matter the most to us in collecting.
Yeah, we got a whole crew today.
We got a whole crew today. The DMZ Squared podcast is all back together again.
Yeah.
So we have Zack here today who's joining us. We're going to call him Raynor from this point on just so it doesn't get confusing. But we have a great show for you today. It's going to be jam-packed. We're going to do a live reveal of hopefully Manny's fixed Robocop. We're going to test it live on the air. We have it sitting here.
So sad.
Looking so sad, but we're going to test it live at the end of the channel, at the end of the video. So first thing I want to talk about is the fact that I don't drive anywhere.
Yeah, trying to get this podcast going today.
Trying to get today's podcast was kind of a pain. So typically when Sydney and I do this podcast, it's always recorded at my house, and Sydney will come over. My wife will cook a delicious meal, or we'll order pizza. I'll pay for the pizza, and then we'll record. And then, once Sydney leaves, I will edit, upload, and spread the podcast. So it ended up being a pretty rare occasion because Manny was able to join us today as well, and then Zack was actually off on a rare Tuesday night, and so they wanted me to travel to their locale. One, for convenience, but two, for the sound quality, potentially, to use a sound setup. But,
yeah, because I also don't have a car this week.
Yeah, so Sydney doesn't have a car this week. But I promised them that if they came today, in January, we would do a 2-hour special at Manny's house with his DJ Technologies. So I think that's a good compromise, gentlemen.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
We'll see.
Next month,
I told him to give me a date, and I will make it happen. So the channel is growing. We're at 31 subscribers. I think last time we were at 19, so that's like a pretty significant increase.
I was listening to 2 episodes ago, and we had 13.
Yeah, now we're at 31.
Because it was like right before Thanksgiving, we're like, the president's taking off, but we're here working hard for you, 13 subscribers.
So the reason that it's grown is there's been a few videos that I've put up on Sideshow's official Facebook group. And they ended up getting deleted because you can't do self-promotion. But there was a lot of people that were asking, like, I need to light my DTOF off, but I have no idea where to start. So I put up a rambling video that got me some subscribers. We'll talk about the ODST in a little bit, but that generated me some subscribers, that figure. But it's definitely trickling in. And now that I'm starting to see that this podcast has some legs, I checked my SoundCloud stats, and the last podcast got about 10 views, which, there's 10 views on SoundCloud, there's like 15 views on the YouTube. And now we're officially on iTunes. So now that it has some legs, I went ahead and sprung for the SoundCloud Unlimited, $16 a month right there. Nice. And so it's growing. What do you guys think? You're part of the channel?
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
I'm not paying for shit, though. I'm just kidding.
That's nothing new.
Shut up.
Do you know what I had to do to get this tea from him?
The Arizona tea, got to pick up both of them.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get a tea. What the hell? I bought $40 worth of pizza. You can't even ask me if I wanted an Arizona green tea.
Oh,
I want some Mountain Dew with backwash?
I'm good.
Oh, man.
So, the ODST has arrived to Galactic Warfighters.
Yeah, man.
I am so excited. So, I thought it was going to be a while before he started taking pictures with it.
It was immediate.
It was immediate. The first, within maybe 4 hours, he had an edited photo of the ODST on a chair, black on white photo, and the caption was something like, when we're at a lull in the bar, someone will shout out some city name, and we'll all join in together. And it was like, that was the night we swam with the Covenant, and I was like, dude, that's fucking awesome. So he's been showing me some behind-the-scenes stuff, some things that he's trying, some things that he wants to do. Really excited. He's gonna let us plug the podcast on his photos, and it was crazy because I was tagged in it, and within an hour it already had 2,000 likes on Instagram, which is for me 30 is a lot, 40 is a lot, and lots of comments saying that people really liked it, and there's some people that are reaching out to me to make their own as a commission, and so the gentleman that helped me, Andrew Sharent, we're gonna try to see if some people want him to build it and paint it, or if he builds it and I'll paint it, kind of just some way for us to make a little cash. But I'm going to be putting up a video on the channel of the parts that I used, for those people that think they can do it themselves, the parts I used, the paints that I used, and I think it's going to build a lot of buzz for the channel, because right now, our rambling videos, they're hitting about 60 views, which is pretty good because, initially they were hitting 10, and I would upload the next one. So the channel's really starting to pick up, and I'm really happy with it. I'm really glad, and I feel good enough about it to start investing into it. And I think the next thing that I want to pick up, I know Manny, you've been mentioning it to me, is some microphones. And potentially the Snowball ones, I think they're like $50 or less than $50.
Yeah, to get started somewhere, you know.
Yeah, because if I buy the $200 ones, like, and it's 3 of us, like, I mean, I can probably drop $90, like, in December, but to drop $600 for us to start recording for the level we're at, I think it's kind of a bit much now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely excited to start investing a little bit into this now that I'm starting to see, like, some interaction and people are messaging me questions and it's good. And so I appreciate you guys being here. I know last week we talked about a new logo and a new addition to the show. We're gonna distance ourselves from that logo and from that creator, but we got the core group of guys here. We got four of my best friends here, and Damien is still helping us with the shirts. So we're gonna redesign the logo. I think this week we're just gonna do a black and white version of our old logo while we kind of brainstorm some ideas for our new logo.
Yeah.
Toy show this weekend at Cooter Brown Saloon in San Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
Manny, did you want to take over and tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, none of us. Oh, you're the only one that went.
Yeah, I really wanted to go. It was just like so short notice for me. Like,
yeah, what's that dude's name who owns the place? He's a cool dude.
I don't know.
Israel?
Israel's the guy that manages
Izzy.
it.
Oh.
Izzy, yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. No, I mean there was a bunch of pretty much everybody that sells. It's always the same people. Like, but they're all cool dudes. I saw many things.
Some hilarious things.
That will stay as an inside joke for the 6 cents. But no, one I'm not gonna say his name. Actually, I don't even know his name, so I couldn't tell you if I wanted to. But it was so funny because he was selling a NECA statue, and the statue was of Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay. Oh, I know exactly what you're saying.
And I was looking at it, and my fiance, she loves that movie, so what do you call it? I was like, hey man, how much for this statue? And he was like, it's actually not a statue. And this is silly. This is silly. He goes, it's NECA. They are known for their quality work. And I just looked at him like, bro. Like in my head, I was like, bro. And I just thought of you.
Yeah, because they're terrible on their quality.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's rare that I find a used NECA that's not broken
or
at the
something.
hip.
Yeah.
Yeah, their QC is awful.
It was just so funny, you know, the way he was like.
I mean, I was just busting a gut over there when you said known for their quality. I had to fight from holding back a laugh.
Yeah, and the price that he wanted was ridiculous. So I was like, no, it's cool, man.
I actually think Buddy has that.
Oh.
Because I saw it.
That figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're like on a mountain or whatever.
Yeah.
It looks pretty cool, but just for him to say that the NECA, they're known for their quality, and I don't know, it just made me chuckle inside.
Speaking of the Nightmare Before Christmas, have you guys seen I don't think it's a Walgreens exclusive line, but it's at Walgreens, the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Diamond Select.
Diamond's like, dude, those look incredible.
Oh, yeah.
If I can find a Jack Skellington, I want to pick it up. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen all the other characters, but not that one.
I think Adam hasn't had them for sale.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that's one of the best Christmas films. You know, it's a Halloween Christmas movie. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, in fact, I've been looking for a decent Jack Skellington to add to my collection.
There's actually a 6-scale one on Big Bad Toy Store. It's like $50, and it's like clothed. But you know, it doesn't stand on its own because of the design, but
right.
It definitely looks pretty good.
Well, I know Play Arts makes one, which I was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Diamond Select makes one. Then the NECA ones, and then there's a few other brands that I'm not familiar with that are online. But yeah, I haven't actually found the Diamond Select one, like to get it in person and be like, oh, this is. But they're like $10, so
yeah. And Walgreens usually has like coupons.
Yeah. So for the toy show, was there anything like when I went last time, the big item that everyone that walked really quick that everyone wanted was the Mezco Miles Morales. Was there an item that you would say was kind of like the best item someone got that day? I know a lot of people got Hulk stuff. I guess there was a bunch of people selling Hulk items.
Yeah, there was a lot of Hulk stuff, but I think the hot item was the free barbecue. Everybody was there.
Dude, it's delicious because they smoke all their barbecue.
Yeah.
I do want to point something out, though. Last time I was there, the guy works for tips. No one was tipping. Everybody was lining up for the free barbecue.
Yeah,
but
dude,
no
I
one
saw
was
that.
tipping.
That's kind of fucked.
Yeah, no, I definitely tipped a guy, and
I doubt it.
somebody in front of me. I'm not gonna say his name, but he just got his tacos, and I think he asked for like 3.
What?
I was like, bro, like, yeah. He was like, oh, I don't have any cash.
Will you tell us his name when we're off air?
Yes.
Dude, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Can we end this early?
Anybody have a pen? I'll write it down right
I
here.
want the cheese
So, Sydney, I know you wanted to talk about Sideshow.
Yes, this
things.
is something I just noticed, which we'll get into a little later, but I've been looking at some Sideshow figures. Specifically the new ObiWan, the Mythos, and the Jedi Luke Deluxe set.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind that they're still using plastic boots.
Okay.
Because my Darth Maul that I just sold was the new Sideshow one.
Yeah.
It also had plastic boots. Now, that one had articulation in it just because the design allowed for it. But the Jedi Luke and the Obi-Wan don't.
Really?
They're just plastic boots, like they're old figures. Like, why are you doing this?
I'm just shaking my head.
Wow. It doesn't look good. I mean, I guess it'll last longer on the shelf, you know? Like, they won't wear and tear. But they just look so bad when the rest of your figure has clothing. And then it's like these plastic boots just look like trash.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. It's really disappointing.
Well, I mean, I guess there's 2 sides to it. You know, whenever I buy a Hot Toys figure that has leather boots, the first thing I do is find a part out and buy a second set of boots. They tend to articulate really well, the Hot Toys, but at the expense of longevity. You know, like my Han Solo boots look really good, and my Thrawn boots look really good, but I know, you know, in 8 months, the Jedi Luke boots that I have, because the ankles, you know, it's kind of like in a saber fighting pose.
Right.
I could definitely see that you know, that boot having trouble in the long run.
Right.
I think for some characters it kind of works if they're plastic. Like, it can work, but I get it. Like, I think at the price point that they're charging, I think there's no excuse not to use like the most premium material available.
Right.
Then again, on the other hand, like toys like Deadpool, plastic boot. Granted, the whole suit is pleather, but so it's kind of a...
When the articulation allows for it, I can understand it because it's a bottom boot and then like the...
True, the shin guard.
The shin guard. And so you kind of hide the ankle joint and it looks fine.
Yeah.
But when it's a solid boot... And
like a military style boot.
Yeah, and there's no cut to it. Because like even Hot Toys is guilty of this too. Captain America, what do you call it? Civil War one that I have. It's all plastic and it articulates, but the top part of the boot, the shin guard, is just so... It's not very well done at all. It looks really messed up when you articulate it.
Yeah, because it doesn't mend.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a solid
So you're saying
boot.
with the deluxe Luke, it's just a one-piece boot that is plastic.
Yeah.
So there's no point. Okay, I get what
It
you're
looks
saying.
bad. Because it's like you can't get them in any of these cool poses like yours is.
Oh, yeah, with the... Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I get what you're
it
saying.
looks bad.
Yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know. I really want to like the idea of the Mythos Obi-Wan, but now that more people are getting it in hand and I'm seeing more pictures, I just don't like it. Like,
yeah,
the
I'm
sculpt is soft, the hair is really not that detailed, the sculpt.
Yeah, the paint.
It just looks weird. Like, it looks like... I mean, it sounds kind of weird to say, but he almost looks like 10 and like 50 at the same time. Like, the way the sculpt looks. Like, it looks like a little kid with big ears and big eyes, and it just doesn't... I don't know, like... You know, and I know Eric mentioned this, and I kind of maybe was a little mean to him, but... You know, he was saying on one of these groups, like, oh, I bet it's going to sell out next week or in a month. And I really don't know that that's a good gauge of quality or, like, of how good a figure is. You know, like, some of these really crappy 6-scale kits that get made, or even, like, these figures that get made, they might only make, like, 1,000 or 2,000 of them, and they'll sell out quick. Whereas, like, a more popular character like Vader or Luke, like, they're going to make enough, obviously, to cover the pre-orders, but plenty so that people who see these characters in the store will be able to buy them.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't really know that that's a good gauge of, like, because this is a very niche figure one. It's a Mythos line. It's not anything that's in any of the movies or anything that's in any of the comics or anything that's in any of the other properties. And it is their interpretation, so it's like, it's not a sculpt of either of the two actors that have played Obi-Wan. It's sort of an in-between. So the fact that this might sell out, to me, is just like, that just means that they didn't produce that many.
Right.
And I guess nowadays we don't know how many they produced, so like, you know, they made the same number of these as they made Empire Strikes Back Vader, and it sold out. That's really impressive. But the fact that we don't know, you know, I mean, I've only seen like 3 people that have had it, you know, whereas like when Luke came out or Boba Fett or Vader, it was like everyone had it.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, based on that, I have to think they probably didn't make that many.
Yeah, I'm waiting for our buddy Albert. He got the Mythos Obi-Wan.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I'm waiting for him to get it so I could go over there and check it out, because he's been stockpiling figures like no tomorrow.
So are you thinking of buying it, or
the Mythos Obi-Wan? No.
You just want to check it out for the show?
Well, because we talked about it last week, and I was like, it's a shame that they knocked the statue out of the park and couldn't translate it into a 6-scale figure. And so I went back and I was looking at the statue, because the statue comes with 2 head sculpts.
Yeah, it's for
one that looks more like Ewan McGregor aging, and then one that looks like a younger Alec Guinness, depending on how you want the Obi-Wan. And I was just looking at the statue, and then I kept going back to the figure. Like, man, like, it's like not even in the same. It's not even playing the same sport.
Yeah.
And I just noticed the boots on that, and then I noticed the boots on the Jedi Luke, because I'm fishing with the idea of buying a Jedi Luke.
Okay. So why is that? Because I know you've been pretty proud of your Luke for a while.
Yeah, and I like it. It just, I don't know, man. When it's made to... Like, when it's made to be a Jedi Luke, it looks better than when I just kit bash one.
Well, I think, honestly, if you put your clean Luke head sculpt on what you have now, I think you'll have a really good figure. I just don't like your head, because everything else is, like, hot toys.
I don't like your head either.
Well, the figurehead.
Wow. Yeah, but the clean Empire Luke is... The hair is totally different. It just doesn't...
In the opening scene, his hair is similar. It's not exact, but he doesn't really get the comb over until, like, after the Hot Palace, in my opinion.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
Like, from the wind blown on the skiff.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I was thinking about just buying the head sculpt from the Hot Toys, but...
It's about $80, $80 to $100.
Like $120, and I'm like, I might as well just buy the figure for another $80, yeah, so... I was looking at that Luke, and then I was like, well, for almost the exact same price, Sideshow's giving you a lot more, but I think that head sculpt is trash.
Yeah.
And then the boots, I was like, what the fuck is with the boots?
Yeah. Yeah, the Sideshow release looks interesting because it has the Endor outfit.
Right.
But to me personally, like, I know there's some people that really like it. Like, of all the outfits that he wears in that film, like, the Endor arrangement, because he doesn't really lose anything throughout the movie. He gains stuff and then removes stuff.
Right.
Unlike some of the other characters in that film, the Endor look is the least iconic, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like, you know, the skiff look, you know, the cloak look, and then the in-battle look, to me, are like where it's at. And, you know, he wears the poncho and the helmet, you know, but I just don't think that they're that iconic.
Yeah.
You know, when he confronts Vader, he's wearing the black suit.
Right.
Speaking of outfits, wasn't somebody selling one with like a crate?
Yeah, I don't understand what that was.
Yeah, what is that?
In fact, it was the guy.
Oh.
He was selling the Jedi Luke with a custom crate battle outfit, and I was like, is that from...
Yeah, it was like Kisser fashion, supposed to be from that TLJ scene, but
yeah,
I mean, it looked okay, but
I looked at the
Luke?
I looked at the pictures and I couldn't like see what he was talking about. So
I don't know. I blocked him, so I didn't see anything. Yeah, I got real ugly. Zach, what do you think about the Sideshow Luke?
You know, honestly, I haven't looked into it. I mean, I've been having kind of my own stuff going on. I've been in the middle of a move, so I've kind of been holding off on trying to buy the figure game. And you say that, and I just bought another figure, but you know, I don't really have an opinion one way or the other, mostly because I haven't really checked it out. But, I mean, I agree with Zack. definitely the poncho. Not iconic. Not as iconic as the palace.
Like the whole argument that people are using is like, oh, you'll need to buy 2 figures to get what you can get with this one package, and it's like, I guess that's technically true, but in order to display everything, you also need to buy a second body and a second head sculpt. So it's like
3.
You know, if it was like a figure, like if it was like a DX release, like where it was two bodies and 2 heads, absolutely, I will agree. Like that's probably the way to go. But the fact that like you can still at any time only display one of those options.
But it also doesn't look like Luke.
It looks like Mark Hamill.
It looks like.
I'm sorry, not Mark Hamill. Jesus, what is
like bro? What?
From Elysium? What is that guy?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. There you go. I don't know why I said Mark Hamill. It kind of looks like a Matt Damon, like an Asian Matt Damon.
Yeah, it's almost like a stylized Luke.
To me, it almost looks like a Battlefront Luke. Like they took the game model of Battlefront and then they applied it.
Because that's hit or miss.
Maybe that's what they were going for.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. Because I was like, the prices are so similar and you get a lot more. And I went to look at it and I was just like, this is not. Who would even want this?
I don't think I've ever seen. Oh, yeah.
It's just not good.
He looks like Luke when he got into that car crash. Mark Hamill.
Oh.
Look, shows that.
Let me take a look here.
Check that out.
Yeah, I just don't really.
Oh, no,
that's the Sideshow?
Sorry, I got
that's the
fingerprints on
Sideshow.
it.
Yeah. I will say credit where credit is due. I really like the outfit, like the black suit. I think it's tailored really well.
I think, judging by what I just saw, the outfit looks pretty good. Head sculpt could be better.
Yeah, that's the head sculpt I'm using right now.
God!
Looks like
it's not
dark
good.
Crystal. The dark crystal.
I guarantee you, yours is probably better than mine.
Look at the dark crystal puppets.
This is the one I have.
Did you hear that?
Oh, that's one you got?
Did you hear what Zack said? Or Raynor said, Zack?
What did he say?
I said I guarantee you his head sculpt's probably better than my head sculpt right now.
Oh, yeah?
Because I'm still using an old kit basher from a few years ago.
Oh, yeah, that's one you got for me.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't look awful.
It looks like my neighbor.
Yours looks better than mine.
The Medicom outfit,
and it's a girl. It doesn't look
looks
good.
like Dorothy Hamill.
Dean, I love you, but it does not look good.
In this thread, we wrote.
You don't even have a Luke in your collection. Get out of here, you fake fan.
Dean.
So,
you have Kylo Ren on your shelf. You're dumb.
Wait, pull it up real quick. So while Dean's pulling that up, the annoying sellers and shippers that we want to talk about on eBay.
Oh.
Yeah, his name's Dean.
I don't sell.
Yeah, you don't.
No, but you were talking about people that ship late.
Oh!
So,
oh my god.
The dark crystal puppet, the little girl dark crystal looks exactly
you're a
the
bad
same.
person.
Anyways, so sellers that take too long to ship or bad.
Yeah, okay, so I
shippers.
use this app called Mercari. Have you?
And we've talked about it. We've talked about it.
And I get some really good deals. And in fact, this was a really good deal.
So what was it?
I wanted to buy the Bath Fusion Zamasu from the Dragon Stars line.
Speaking of Bath, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Wow. Bath.
Bath. B-A-F.
Build a figure.
Build a figure. The Fusion Zamasu. And to buy all the figures in the wave and build him would probably be like $120.
Yeah.
People buy him and build him and sell him for like around $90, which is
Jesus.
I'm not gonna pay that. So I found an old listing on Mercari, and since it was so old, like the app automatically like was like, oh, it's on sale for like $72. And I sent an offer for 65 or 62. I hate you. This guy over here, I can't.
He's shooting us with a Robocop arm.
We have 31 people who are really tuning in.
I'm so sorry.
You have to keep it professional.
We're going to get taken off of iTunes for this.
Yeah, anyway. I offered him $62. And he came back with... It actually looks pretty funny.
I'm so sorry. Please continue.
Leave it to him to derail the podcast.
Yeah. How dare you?
Sorry.
So, I sent him an offer for $62 from $72.
Okay.
He comes back with $68, and I was like, I'll come up to $65.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to pay almost $70 for a...
6-inch.
Yeah.
Build a figure.
Yeah,
Marvel
that's
Legends.
not figure arts. You know what I mean? So...
Tomorrow's Zamasu figure arts announced.
Yeah. And he declined it, and I was like, okay, that's fine, whatever. Well, like 2 or 3 days later, he messaged me. He's like, hey man, like, are you still cool with 65? And I was like, yeah, I'll pay 65. He's like, cool.
Should have been a dick and be like, no, it's 60 now.
It's 60 now, yeah. And he was like, just shoot me the offer again, and we'll do it. I was like, all right, cool. So I bought it from him on a Sunday night.
How long ago? Like 3 days ago Sunday or last Sunday?
Like 2 Sundays ago.
Jesus.
So the app says they have 3 business days to send it. Mm-hmm. Well, he didn't send it.
Still
no, he finally got it out, but.
So what happens if you don't send it on?
Well, that's what I was like. So I was like, dude, is there a problem? Like, are you gonna send it? He's like, oh yeah, I'm just like, I can't get to the post office. I'm like, dude, you printed the label at home. It tells me you did. Mm-hmm. So you could literally just put it on the box and then go drop it in the UPS box. Mm-hmm. Like, you can just do that if you print it at home. So there's no way you can't just go drop it off. And he's like, no, I'll add an extra figure. Like, I'll make it worth it. I was like, whatever. So, like, day 5 and 6 roll around, and I'm getting really impatient. And so I send the app a message. I'm like, hey, like, it says he has 3 days to ship this, and he hasn't done it. Is there any repercussions? Like, do I get any money back? Like, do I get...
But he can't get paid until...
Right, he can't get paid until I say
the thing of the app.
Paid.
Yeah, okay. So then, here's what you do. You take as long as he took to ship it.
Right.
That's what I would do.
So... Yeah, so I was like, is there any repercussions here? Like, if you give him 3 days to ship it and he's obviously taking more, what the fuck is the point of the 3 days? So I get an automated response like, we have a lot of like inquiries that we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Then the next day he shipped it. And then by the time they got around to it, they're like, well, he shipped it, so like I don't know what he wants to do about it. I was like, damn, man, fuck y'all.
So I had the same thing happen. I bought something on eBay, and it's... same situation, you know, like, supposed to be shipped, like, pretty soon, like, I'll ship in within 1 business day of payment clearing. It was like 4 or 5 days before he shipped it, and it was just so annoying. I mean, it's really not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. It's the Toys Power V. I'm not going to open it until Christmas, but it's just like, do you have it? Like, you haven't sold anything in a while. Like, you know, is there something wrong? Like, the pictures weren't that great, but it said it was complete and brand new. So, yeah, it's totally frustrating, because you actually mentioned to me on Monday... that you were thinking of just buying a different Build-A-Figure of the same character because I was able to find the headpiece. The head.
And I found the Build-A-Figure...
This is for the Dragon Stars line, by the way.
Yeah. I found the Build-A-Figure body. It was everything but the head for like $45.
On Mercado.
And I was like, okay, so if I buy a $20 Trunks with the head, I'm at $65.
Yeah.
I might as well just do that shit. And then like... Literally later that day, it was like UPS has the item in their possession. I was like, "Thank you, Jesus!" Like
I have a similar situation going on with a local buyer. So I use a lot of times this app called OfferUp. I'm sure most of you have heard of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was at a deal set up with a local buyer. Some non-1/6 related. I was interested in buying it. I had a deal set up. I said, okay, you know, this is when I work. This is when I get off work. You know, can you meet it after 5 o'clock? I said, yeah, no problem. Well, I get this message while I'm at work. Sorry, the seller sold it to somebody else. And I'm like, I messaged him and I'm like, you know, we had a deal lined up. You know, what gives? And he was like, oh, I didn't know you were serious. I thought you were just spitballing here. And I'm like, I told you when I get off work and what time to set up a meet and ask for an address. How could that not be serious, you know? Yeah. And so, anyway, so I reported him to, I blocked him on OfferUp because I don't want to deal with a guy like that. And I went ahead and reported him to OfferUp and just said, hey, you know, we had a deal, he flaked, you know, is there anything can be done, whether it just be issuing a warrant. I'd be satisfied with a warrant. I don't want to ban the dude. I mean, you know, maybe he messed up, maybe he's new to the site, whatever. But, you know, I wanted him to, you know, at the very least list a warning, and OfferUp basically just said, yeah, we'll take the necessary action. Never heard anything again. So I'm like, ugh.
That's the worst. Yeah, I don't know. It's just really annoying because, like, as I know like a lot of people say like, oh, PayPal sides with the buyers, you know, it's all about the buyers. But then sellers, you're kind of at their mercy for shipping or how well they pack it.
Yeah.
You know, if they insure it or if they do it the right way.
Well, yeah, so like right now I'm like super pissed and I'm like ready to leave this dude like a really shit review. But he said he was going to throw in another figure. So I guess like depending on how cool the other figure is, I'll probably take it easy on him. But like as of right now, I'm pretty fucking pissed. Because like I could have had that thing 3 times already, but it's supposed to come in on Thursday, so...
I was actually surprised to see Walmart carrying Dragon Stars. I didn't know that they
did. I went to a few places and couldn't find them.
It was three of that wave, like 3 sets of those figures. The Hit, Goku, and Trunks.
Well, Hit's actually a hard figure to find. It's like a $40 figure.
Fuck, dude, you should have told me that was 3 of them. I could have made some bank.
Damn.
So, new pickups this week. I've had a few new pickups. I'll go ahead and start it off, but a few months back on my birthday, it was June, we were talking with Zack, Raynor, and you had asked me what figures that I thought were pretty cool that were coming up, and at that point I had Emperor on pre-order. I knew I wanted the Guard, but it was kind of like a tough sell to pick one up. Then I had Luke on pre-order, and at that time I had Vader on pre-order, which I ended up canceling. But you were telling me like, oh, okay, well, I'll keep that in mind. And so this Sunday, you actually texted me to meet up with you and Sydney. You think you guys are going to the Traders Village, which is like a flea market in our city?
Yep.
You surprised me with a Royal Guard 1/6 scale figure for Christmas. It's badass. Thank you so much. It's a really cool figure.
Yeah, we need to check it out.
I'm still salty over it.
Don't worry, you got something nice coming. You got nice.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's really cool. Like, it's a very bare bones figure. It's just the robe, the helmet, but the boots are really nice. They're that soft fabric boot that's really nice. It's kind of like Palpatine's.
Like felty?
Oh, yeah, remember Palpatine?
Yeah.
Which is really good. Good selection of hands. My only complaint is, I think it's accurate to the film, but I wish he had a left hand to hold the pike, and also I wish that there was a slit on the left. So if you have 2 guards, you can only have them holding it on the right. Because I think that's how the film costume was. There wasn't a slit on both the left and the right arms.
Oh, okay.
So that's my only complaint, but it looks really good. I know a lot of people that have gotten theirs. They had issues where the robe was stained or different scuffs on the plastic mask. Mm-hmm. I was fortunate not to have any of that. I also picked up my Maximus from Seth. What do you guys think? It's sitting here in front of us all.
I've seen this figure before because you had it before.
Yeah, so the story of this figure, I bought it, sold it for Bill's monies, and recently purchased it back.
But I don't remember it being this nice.
Yeah, I've been futzing with it a little bit. I know that you don't like...
The fur is cool, the cape, I like the material.
It's legit.
There's this
like the skin for his elbows.
Yeah, it's really cool. The helmet hair.
Are the boots accurate?
No.
So the figure came with almost like football cleats for the boots, and they were a little large, and they made the lower portion of them look really weird, like really top heavy, and then the lower skinny legs. And I really didn't like it. And I was looking and watching. I just got the 4K, and I was watching it. And there's a scene where he gets knocked off his horse, and he's like on the ground. This guy's trying to hit him with a sword, or maybe he doesn't get knocked off the horse, but he's on the ground. Someone's trying to kill him. And there's a really good look at the actual boots that they used for the filming. And there's absolutely no way that the boots that they used for the filming are accurate. They're basically just like riding boots with a heel and a spur, leather, totally period inaccurate. I know, Sydney, you were telling me about the actual footwear they used, which was...
I think they're called Caligai.
And they're like a sandal?
Yeah, it's basically just like a sandal with a bunch of leather straps on it that tied.
Yeah, and I think you're totally right. Aesthetically, I kind of like these a little bit better, but I think you're totally right. Like, that this is not period accurate. And I've seen some once...
Well, you were like, I don't think they're accurate. And I came in like, well, they're definitely not accurate. This is what they are. You're like, no, that's what I said. I'm like, I'm not attacking you and saying you're wrong. I'm just letting you know that
Yeah, no,
definitely.
But it's good to know because I guess there's two things. It's like you could be historically accurate, or you could be
screen accurate.
And for me, I like the screen accuracy.
Yeah.
Because it's my understanding that they filmed this on location, and it was like snowing, and it's wet, and it's cold, and it's winter.
Yeah, you don't.
And I think that the actors, I think the actors, they just for their own comfort wore boots. But I found a set of boots that are plastic. Shout out to our earlier segment, and I painted them brown with the airbrush, and they came out really good. And they actually stretched the shin armor a little bit, so it looks a little less narrow. And I think it really looks good. I got a second head sculpt coming in. This one is a little soft. So there's a head sculpt on eBay that's been there for a while that I picked up. And I also picked up some different red for this that's a little shorter and a little bit more accurate. I'm going to weather it to kind of tie it all together. But I'm really happy with this. And the last thing that came in this week for me, kind of a busy week, was my 1/6 scale Oscar Academy Award statue.
Yeah.
Dude, I legit just picked that thing up.
It's heavy.
I thought it was plastic.
No,
when I picked it up, I was like,
die cast.
whoa, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was. I think it was like $11. I think it was from TNS, and it came in a nice little Oscars box. It was like super tiny. What do you guys think about it?
It's sweet.
It looks really awesome.
Pretty badass.
My wife was like, "You should have Russell Crowe holding it in a sword hand," because he won an Oscar for that role. So
You should have it holding like. Oh.
Right? Well, no, I want to have Deadpool hold it like that. So I got
Deadpool hold it like this.
Ooh, that would be good. Like it's his crotch.
Yeah.
Zach, you also got a figure in this week?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I've been trying to stay away from the figures, and I just can't. But I was perusing eBay the other day. I was perusing one of my. I've been working on this Xana custom that popping up in our Facebook group.
So for those that aren't familiar, Xana is.
Darth Xana is Darth Bane's apprentice from the Old Republic book series, Path of Destruction. And it just basically follows how the Rule of Two was set up by Darth Bane and how eventually it led to Palpatine rising to power and all that good stuff. But I was perusing this seller that I normally buy from called Simple Happy Life.
Yes, Justin is amazing. That's who I bought the head sculpt from for Gladiator, actually.
Nice. Yeah, you introduced me to him, and I love what he's got. So but yeah, I was perusing his stock, looking for stuff to use for my Xana custom, and on this, the Yennefer it was a Yennefer third-party figure from The Witcher 3, and I forget the NECA company name now that I think about it, but it popped up, and I had some eBay credit from various sources, and I said, oh, all right, what the heck, I'll give it a go. It's a decent figure. It's my main gripe with it is the ankles. The ankles have next to no support in it, and I can.
So do mine. I'm just kidding.
Right,
they literally look like they're just barely held together. So that would be my only gripe with it. I mean,
show me that one more time.
Yeah, here. Let me show you. Here.
And I mean, I think it looks pretty cool. Like I really like these hand sculpts. These are really expressive. She's got like
those
I'm not
are supposed
familiar
to be
with
for
The Witcher.
they're supposed to be for casting spells. So she's a sorceress.
She's got some
keep it
effects
away.
as well. Right. These look really cool.
Let me see.
So what was the price on this figure? If you don't mind me asking.
It was $160, but it was free shipping and all that good stuff. I mean, $160 just out the door. It's yours. But I had about $100-something worth of eBay credit from various sources.
$100 of eBay credit.
Gift cards from various people.
Oh.
People know I've been doing a lot of eBaying lately, so they know what to buy. But I've got. It looks nice. I mean, it's got a little. For those of you who can't see, it's got a decent head sculpt. It's got more of a posh version of Yennefer from The Witcher as opposed to the slim, sexy version that you kind of see in the game. But you've got. You got these nice thigh-high boots. You got a little mini skirt with a little loincloth and a corset and low-cut top, and it looks pretty decent. Again, my only gripe is the ankles. It will not hold up by itself. You're definitely going to need a stand.
Are you able to take the boots off?
I have not tried yet. I just got it in today, and I just inspected it to make sure there was no obvious damage, and then I put it back in the box, and here I am.
I'll say if you want me to take a look at it, I'd be happy to.
Oh, definitely.
Did you guys have any cool pickups this week?
All my pickups are in the mail. Oh, I got your Christmas gift.
Really? You bought it?
It's pretty cool.
Ooh, can I get a hint?
No.
Oh, man. Manny, what about you?
I don't think I picked up anything.
I do have one more pickup. This was more of a last week's pickup, but I did also get an Echoes and 5 set from OfferUp.
Oh, how do you like them?
I like them a lot. The guy who I bought from was actually a member of one of our local Facebook groups, the Alamo Stash Bin, and he had bought them off of Amazon and some fluke where apparently they were like $25. He claimed.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the seller wound up honoring the deal because, you know, legal reasons. But he said he just doesn't collect that scale. It doesn't fit with the rest of his collection. He let him go for, what did I say it was?
It was like pretty good, like 120 or something.
For both of them.
Yeah, for both of them, it was like it was around $200 for both of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, something crazy. It was something that I immediately when I saw it, I'm like,
Which
oh
is
my
still
god,
a really good deal.
Yeah.
I had to pounce on that.
Yeah,
so.
because Eric was like, "Why don't you buy ours?" Shout out Eric, and I was like, "Cause you're asking like $340."
Yeah, I remember after the cost of gas to get out there because he wanted to meet on the west side. It was probably close to $220 after all was said and
Yeah,
done.
that's still really good.
So you did have a pickup this week. I'm shocked you didn't mention it. Your movie.
My movie?
Remember?
Oh yeah, we just talked about it last week, and you surprised me.
The next day.
Yeah,
So
my digital
I'm
movie.
a little hurt actually. I'm a little hurt, actually.
You picked up.
Tomorrow.
It was so.
It was weird. We talked about it and then the
talked
next
about-
morning, first thing in the morning.
Dude, because I've literally never found it.
Mm-hmm.
And Edge of Tomorrow, the movie with Tom Cruise in the mech suits and Emily Blunt, she's amazing. I love that movie, and I've never found it on DVD. Because I went to Seed Exchange literally 2 weeks before. Couldn't find it. And I just so happened to be able to sleep in the next day.
Right.
My boss was like, "Hey, don't worry about coming in until 1." Because I'm usually at work. I'm up at 8. So I'm usually up chatting with you guys. And you were like, "Why isn't he talking?"
Everybody tagged Dean.
Dean. And then you posted that she had it for sale. And then you bought it. And I was like, did he buy it from me or did he buy it?
Okay, so I bought it as soon as I saw it. Because one, it was crazy cheap. It was
$3.
$3. And two, it was the film that you wanted. And I was like, I mean, worst case, I'll just give it to him, and you can pay him back whenever.
Yeah.
I usually get stuff for you, and you pay him back whenever, but...
he probably doesn't want to all have a kick-ass movie.
Yeah, exactly, because I was like, I mean, worst case, if you found it between yesterday and today... But it took you so long, I was like, okay, I'm just going to cash this shit in for myself, because it's literally taking so long.
Yeah.
So did you watch it? Was it as good as you remember?
I still haven't watched it. The one night I was free to watch a movie, I watched Return of the Jedi. But I will watch it soon.
I have completed my own quest, like you had your quest, and maybe I mentioned it last podcast, maybe I didn't, but I finally finished the Apes trilogy on digital. I got the first one, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I've been looking forever. I've tried to buy it twice.
New ones.
Yeah, the new ones.
With
James Franco.
Well, they each have different main characters.
Yeah.
The apes.
I've never seen
the ape. What's his
Really?
name?
Yeah.
What's his name?
James Franco.
No, the ape name.
Caesar?
Caesar.
Oh, that's
See,
Andy Serkis, right?
I've only ever watched the original ones. I've never,
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, you should come over and watch the last one.
What
The
am
first
I,
two are really
chopped
good.
liver? I'm just kidding.
No, you can
I've
come
never
see
seen
them.
them. I mean,
I got a 50-inch TV now, so we can watch it.
Hey.
Yeah, I got a new TV. But I finally found it. It was like...
I'm gonna call it C-3PO.
But the weirdest thing was I bought it, and then the dude was like, "Oh, I'm going to work. I'm at work right now. I'll send it to you later." And I bought it at 11 in the morning, and at midnight, I texted him. I was like, "Hey, are you off work?" He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I got busy." And then he didn't send it to me. It's like, shit, did I just get scammed? Next morning, he sent it to me. All was good. But
Can I stop you guys right now? Drum roll. I think it's time to check on Robocop.
let me chime in one more thing, and then we'll check on Robocop.
Go for it. Go for it.
So just real quick on the topic of bad buyers and bad sellers, I had sent this guy a message, just a guy that I didn't know. I was like, "Hey, I'm kind of interested in these codes. Can you do a bundle deal?" And before he wrote yes or no, or before he even got to a price, he sent me the pictures of the codes. And I was like, "Shit! I mean, I guess I have to buy them now." He sent me the codes before we agreed on a price and payment method and everything.
You could have scammed him.
I could have scammed him, but I didn't.
Is this the guy?
No.
The scammed guy? He got scammed 2 times.
Oh, maybe it was. I don't know. I gotta check. But he said it there, and I was like, I guess I'll take him. But
Could have blocked him easily.
Moment of truth. Drum roll.
Here, look. I want you to do it.
No, I don't want to do it.
No?
I don't want to
Okay,
do it.
we're going to see if...
What time are we at?
We are... I don't know. Hold on.
We might need to pause.
We're currently at 44 minutes.
I think we're good.
Okay.
All right. So let me put in the one that's not broken.
Watch it breaks.
Right? Okay.
Just be the way it goes, right?
Okay, here we go. Oh my god. My knees! My knees!
Did it work?
I don't know. It looks a little loose.
That's what she said.
That's what he said.
Ew.
Looks like a sad old man.
Maybe he's gonna have to break it.
No, no.
Okay, well, if it's holding, let it hold because it sets in an hour. It's only been 45 minutes. Well, so let it hold.
Okay.
Yeah, put him... Okay, oh my gosh. The death of Robocop may have been... he's been brought back from his robotic form.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Simon down.
I'm so scared.
And I'm going to set him right here.
Oh my gosh. We need to light one of those Mexican candles if this breaks. So I think we fixed Robocop. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Zack is working on the UCS Ghost to Lego mock, I believe.
Yes.
So how is that going?
Well, for those of you who aren't familiar, there's a channel out there called Brick Vault that will put together mocks and do step-by-step instructions, and they'll sell you the instructions and the parts list for what you need, and you can go to sites like Bricklink to buy the parts you need. And so that's what I've been doing. I got all the parts I needed on order. I'm still waiting for quite a few to come in. Most of them are coming in from overseas, but...
So when you buy the parts, because I imagine it's thousands of pieces, is there a bulk importer that... Or do you have to literally find every single part one by one?
So the way it works is they send you a file that you can then copy into Bricklink, and Bricklink will then translate the file into a parts list.
That's fucking awesome. Okay, because you told me that, I was like, one, that sounds super tedious to buy all the parts, but then obviously you have to build it.
Well, it gets even better because then Bricklink will have an easy buy option and select sellers of the various parts you need that have the various parts you're looking for, and just put a cart together for you with the various sellers, and it's called Easy Buy, and that's what I did. Most of my stuff was coming from overseas because otherwise to get the best deals, I was looking at hunting and pecking like for days, and I just couldn't be bothered to do that. So what I did was I went ahead and ordered them from overseas, and then after that, just waiting for them to come in. And like I said earlier, I'm kind of in the middle of a move, so it's probably not going to start working on it for a couple of weeks probably. But once the parts come in, I can start really sitting down and figuring out what I'm going to do with this thing. Also, I ran into a bit of a problem here that Dean pointed out, which is I originally converted my second bedroom of my new place into a Lego studio. Well, the problem is this thing's bigger than the UCS Falcon.
God damn.
It's 11,000 pieces. 11,000 pieces.
What is the UCS Falcon, like 8,000?
7,500, something like that. So it is bigger in every aspect than the UCS Falcon. So I will definitely have to build it on where I'm going to display it because
because you don't want to move it.
Yeah, it's not as sturdy as the UCS Falcon too. Is what I've been told. It's once you build it, you don't move it. So that's going to be a little bit of a tedious part because I am going to have to set up and shop in my living room to build it because that's where I was planning on displaying it.
Jesus, bless your heart.
Yeah.
Absolute madman.
I know. Dean says I flew over the Cuckoos Nest finally.
Yeah.
So next thing I want to talk about is cultural soul food. I was listening to NPR on Saturday, and they gave a really interesting special. So soul food, like obviously you guys all know, like food that you like, comfort food, kind of gives you a little bit of a boost if you're feeling down. And specifically cultural soul food is like, it's not really toy related. But like, is there things that you guys do or that you like to watch or like, cultural stuff? So for me, like I like to watch Empire Strikes Back or like The Office. Parks and Rec. Those are all kind of go-tos for me if I'm having a down day.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, what's going to happen, what to expect. You can kind of turn your brain off and just be entertained. What do you guys like to do if you're having a down day or if you just need to kill 2 hours?
Parks and Rec.
Me, it's that 70s show or the Trailer Park Boys, something like that.
Yes, dude, the Trailer Park Boys.
It literally is just a turn.
Like, I got a lot of terrible stuff in my life, but the Trailer Park Boys, I just feel really good about myself because they're just a complete mess.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those just turn your brain off and just laugh at their antics type shows. Another one that I recently discovered, which I've just fallen in love with, is Paradise PD on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's done by the same guys that did Brickleberry. If you like that really wrong, raunchy sense of humor, I mean, it's one of those things you're going to feel bad about laughing at the jokes, but in the moment, they're so hysterical.
Yeah. What about you, Manny?
My go-to is always been The Office. Like, I probably watched it like 10 times from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
But recently I've been stuck on Parks and Rec.
It's good stuff.
Dude, yeah, I've seen it once a couple years ago, and then I recently started watching it again. And
where are you at in the show?
I'm about to start season 7. I think that's the last one, right? Yeah. So I'm a couple episodes away from that one.
I just started that one not too long ago. I'm only in like season 1 or 2 now.
It's a little slow at first, but it definitely picks up.
Okay, because that's one thing I noticed. It was very, very slow at the start.
Yeah, no, it's good. What happened to Mark Bandanowitz?
He left. He got a different job. Remember? Yeah. He gave Leslie the plans for the park.
That's right.
Remember, and he was like, he's like, I just don't have the heart for public service. Like
I was wondering. I was like, wait,
Mark Bandanowitz.
Yes.
For me, I also really like to play Fallout 4. I gotta show you guys my mansion in Fallout 4. It's actually really nice. I just like craft and build like civilization settlements in Fallout 4. And they added this DLC where you could set up cages and you can capture like animals and stuff. And you can let them loose in your camp and then you watch all your dudes like... And it's funny because like there's certain characters that in Fallout 4 that they've been with me from the beginning, like NPCs. And like this first settlement, these guys really protected me, so I gave them all this crazy armor. But this one chick showed up wearing like a pirate hat. I was like, oh, she's the captain, and it's like an airline pilot's hat. And I gave her a Gatling gun, and I keep moving her to all my settlements that I'm living at. And so I have like the King's Guard of all these settlers that are like super heavily armored. They all have machine guns. And there's this glitch where if you give them one bullet, they have like unlimited ammo. So they just like mow down these people that are attacking me. I gotta show it to you real quick before you guys leave. But there's also these settlers that, you know, when I get these raids, they die. And this one lady in particular died so that I might live. Even though I could just, like, the game just restarts if you die. You know, it's not a big deal. But this scorpion was attacking me, and this lady, like, almost, like, pushed me out of the way and died. And then I stim packed myself, and I killed it. So I set up, like, this mausoleum. And there's a casket in there with flames around it. And there's 2 benches so you can pay your respects. It's so crazy. I just, like, go, like, kind of, like, create these little... characters in these stories.
You're really lonely.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, that reminds me of the Office episode
with the bird. With the bird.
No, with the where Dwight he like goes to his second life, and then in that he has another life. Yeah, that's you. You just come home and just like
doesn't he? He works like at a paper company.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm actually watching all the Office Christmas episodes to celebrate the season.
I think I shared something on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a mortal sin here. The only Office episode I've seen is where Dwight rips the face off the CPR dummy.
Oh yeah, get out.
So how we all met? We'll leave it on that. We'll talk about that, and then we'll call it a night.
Do we have enough time? Because that's a whole convoluted...
Yeah, we have about 10 minutes.
Okay, I just don't want this to stop recording.
I know Zack and Sydney knew each other first, and he also knew Manny, so I'll let you guys share that, and then I'll talk about how I got into the fray.
So I think I knew Zack first.
Okay.
Because Zack started working at HEB, a local grocery store here. Shout out HEB.
Shout out.
And we both love Star Wars. We both love collecting. And we decided that we were going to go to a Force Friday opening at the Disney store. Mm-hmm. Or it wasn't Force Friday. It was for the anniversary. Which one was it? The Boba Fett one. Mm-hmm. With the white suit Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So we get there super early. It's like 6 a.m. The damn store didn't open until like 10.
Was that when we were surrounded by the 501st Legion dudes?
Yeah, well they go every grand opening. But just in front of me, I was like the 5th person in line. The 4th person in line was Manny. And so we just start talking about like what we collect, like how excited we are, and I was like, "Oh, Manny, you should check out my collection." And I pull up my Facebook page. He's like, "Hey, you're a DJ?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'm a DJ." We're like, "Oh, no way!" And so we started talking about that, and then I mentioned like, "Oh yeah, me and Zack work at HEB." He's like, "You work at HEB?" I work at HEB. We're like, what? Yeah. So we buy our stuff. We all go our own way.
There was no intention of
like, I think I told you about the stash bin, and that was about it.
Yeah.
And we go on throughout our day.
You go to work.
I go to work, and then I'm walking along, and I see Manny over there. I was like, "Manny," and he's like, "Oh my god, you work at this one?" I was like, "Yeah." And then
it was crazy.
It was pretty much like then that we actually became friends, and just like the stash bin, that's how we met you.
So I came into the fray. I think I actually knew of Manny first. There was a misunderstanding of sorts. And,
that's right.
Manny. Oh. It was presumed that Manny was buying a figure from a friend of mine.
Oh,
that
yes.
It didn't go through, and Manny, this guy just really was not a fan of Manny, and
I'm not a fan of his.
And so it got real ugly. There was a presumption you were gonna buy a hot toy, and you hadn't intended it to come off that way.
Yeah.
And
no, he definitely misunderstood.
Yeah, going back, it's clear misunderstanding. And so I kind of knew of you. I didn't really know you that well. But 4th of July weekend, I remember it was 4th of July weekend 2 years ago. I had gotten a Boba Fett, and then I decided just kind of not. If I'm gonna have like only 4 hot toys, it's not gonna be Boba Fett. I was selling one, and Zack was interested to buy it. And you had said, like, hey, my friend's going to drive me over there. He knows a lot about these figures.
There's a bit of an interesting story behind that one. So, originally, I was looking to get a ride from somebody, but didn't work out. And I was looking to hop a bus all the way to you. And you were, 30 minutes away.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, don't take a bus. I'll just take you. And he was like, are you sure it's really far? And I was like, yeah, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And because I had the Sideshow. And you had messaged me briefly, like, hey, did they have any more when I bought it?
And yeah, I remember that because you got it at a good deal, and I was like, shit, I might downgrade to the Sideshow because I had liked the look of that one better.
Yeah.
And, when you had came, we just all three hit it off really well. I think you, normally when you buy a figure for someone, you buy it and you leave. But you had stayed for a while, and then we ended up all adding each other. And then I remember there was a point, it was in December, so about 6 months later, 5 months later, so it was in July. We had started our 1/6 San Antonio group, and we invited Manny to the group. You had said he was a collector, and then it was like a riff with my friend and Manny being in the same group, and that friend left, and you stayed. But I'm glad you did, that we're all good friends now. We have our podcast, and we have 31 subscribers on YouTube.
Hell yeah.
We're on iTunes now. Maybe next episode we'll talk about why we started the podcast and how it started and my history in podcasting. But yeah, that's how we met. We're here now. We ate pizza, talked about some toys.
Tried to fix Robocop. It looks like it's holding.
I would say it is holding, so I would leave it like that overnight.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be posed in anything crazy, so...
Would you say it's better now?
Yeah.
Because I think the first time the arm was drooping when you would pose it.
Don't
take it out. Don't take it out.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. For 150, I mean...
That's such a beautiful figure for the price that you got it. It's such a really, really good figure. That's we're gonna sign off here. I think we had a really good show tonight. Next week we will catch you next week, and we also will talk about some rambling videos. We took Manny took some good videos during the podcast.
I did.
Shooting Robocop guns at people.
DJ Manny S.A.
And now Robocop's flipping me off.
Yeah. You
After all that.
It'll last longer.
Ooh. Damn, Robo's got some junk in the trunk.
Right? Man, he has a
What's the robot diaper to catching all this shit?
Oh, really?
But he's the baby.
Robot diaper?
Go somewhere.
Robot diaper.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Yeah, see you guys.
Later.
Bye.